Throughout history, art forms and expressions have altered drastically over time. From Michelangelo to Picasso, there have been many artists to come and go that left an imprint on the modern-day art culture. In the early 1990s, controversy struck the customary style of art when an unknown artist referred to as Banksy used his artistic ability to express his political and social views on the streets, walls, and bridges in the cities around the world.
I started painting graffiti when I was about 14 or so, and people always ask, what makes you do it? But the question to me was always really, why would you not do it?
His satirical street art and subversive epigrams, deemed too inappropriate by society in the art business, brought a huge dispute on whether or not this kind of work is acceptable. The mysterious English-based graffiti artist utilizes his insubordinate dark humor to show the world his ideas, which had created a nationwide controversy as to how art should be expressed and in which manner it should be recognized. Although Banksy began what can be thought of as an art revolution by creating an innovative form of art, other artists left a lasting impression on him. Banksy was primarily influenced by artist and musician Robert Del Naja, who was denoted as 3D. Also an artist who began his career on the streets of Bristol, England, Del Naja's freestyle spray can art is what caught the eye of young Banksy.
I knew Banksy from very early on, and a lot of the other artists, that were kind of around.
He was a fucking leery little git. You were like, who the fuck are you? But he was obviously motivated, obviously talented, and you take notice of that.
He wanted to paint in all the most absurd places, but you never have a chance of doing it. You never get away with it, and he was getting away with it.
3D was looked upon as a graffiti artist's hero in Bristol, England, as he brought the art of New York City subways back to their neighborhood. Although 3D had a major influence on Banksy, he was not the only artist he was inspired by. Larad, a French graffiti artist, political messages and visual style spoke to Banksy as he began to adopt his unique method of stencil art and move past his freestyle scheme. With the new artistic method in sight, Banksy pursued more political objectives with his art. Due to one of Banksy's more provocative pieces of art, the court actually removed it from public display due to the offensive and racist remarks it conveyed. But when the communications manager of Riveting district said he would enjoy his art on our walls if he was to come around again, goes to show that the manner in which Banksy expresses his messages may have limitations, but the lax rules that law enforcement and people in higher power condone allow Banksy to still address his ideas along city streets.
Deliberately trying to suppress a debate about immigration, and I think Banksy makes a very pertinent point, and I think his painting being covered over is an atrocious act. Banksy is one of the artists of our time, and for the Conservative-run council to say that his work is offensive and racist.
The idea behind Banksy's unorthodox way of expressing his thoughts all has to do with opportunity and his determination. While making thousands of dollars through selling his graffiti art, he challenges the status quo by simply taking the path less traveled by and making his own footsteps. Banksy once said, "You don't have to go to college, drag around a portfolio, mail off for transparency, just nudity galleries, or speak with someone powerful. All you need now is a few ideas and a broadband connection. This is the first time the essential bourgeoisie world of art has belonged to the people. We need to make it count." Learning through the experience and self-determination has inspired many young artists to challenge the norm and aim higher for a more simple and innovative way to be successful. While presenting his artwork, all of them have to do with some kind of controversial issue that is happening around the world. Some issues such as anti-establishment, anti-war, racial injustice, art, philosophy, politics, sociology, humor, and narcissism. Based on the fact he can virtually make art anywhere, he reaches out to a wide variety of people and influences them through his strong statements and visual masterpieces.
Graffiti's always been a temporary art form. You make your mark and then they scrub it off. Most of it is just designed to look good from a moving vehicle, not necessarily in the history books. But, maybe all art is just about trying to live on for a bit. They say you die twice. One time when you stop breathing, and a second time a bit later on when somebody says your name for the last time.
The influence Banksy had on young adults is what keeps the art form around today. And without his intriguing and provocative works of art, who are these kids going to look up to? Banksy's made it a lifestyle and a career, when others simply made it just a hobby.